Hello everyone, welcome to day 87 of playing chess every day for a year. Let's find the game. Starting off as black, I'll play the Caro-Kann. This works for me. Knight takes, we can take with our knights. Our knight's in a good spot though. If he takes me, it's not so bad for me. I think I can just attack this knight. Where does the knight go? He can just jump back to b3 to attack my bishop, so maybe I won't do that. But then if he attacks my bishop will be developed on that square, so that's probably not so bad for me. If he jumps here, that looks like a terrible move. Maybe he'll be able to jump in here, but I had to take so. Queen in. Attacks the bishop. My knight is pinned. If I go here, if I go for this queen trade, he attacks this and but then he can take here if I go for this queen trade, but then I'd have this. So maybe I'll go for this queen trade. I could just develop my other knight first, but this move's good. Attacking this. And the trade is good for me because it opens up my rook. This is hanging, so I'll take it. Now I can develop my other knight, and if he attacks me this way, I actually have this fork, so that's a mistake from my opponent. Now he has to weaken his structure. I can develop my knight and castle. He has this move, also has this move, but at the moment if I castle, that looks fine. I can also put my knight on that square. So the rook is forking me there. This move he can just take. Then I go here. Let's see. If I defend like this, if I attack the rook, I don't threaten this. If I defend, he takes. Not possible. If I go here, he takes. And then these pieces are hanging. Maybe I just counterattack his knight here. If I go here and he takes, we can take. If I go here, his knight can go only here. And he still attacks this. So I might just give him the pawn. Attack this with tempo. If he pushes, I take. If he defends, that's fine. A rook trade probably helps me. He actually gives me this pawn. I'll take it with tempo. He attacks me, I can go here. Attacking this pawn. If he pushes though, it's a problem. Maybe I go back. But I think going to this square is good. Because I can go here. He takes. I can go for a rook trade. but then he can go here. So now this is hanging. Could go for a rook trade here. Attacking this. A rook trade helps me. This move loses a rook, so not possible. We have these strong pawns. We need to... This knight is very powerful. Attacking this puts pressure on this, attacks this, and defends this. Rook has to move. He accepts the trade. He can probably push here. Then my knight is close to being trapped, but it's not trapped. He protects like that. I think I just make room for my pieces here. And now I can actually just go and push this pawn. Get my rook behind this pawn. Can't take that. I have this. Attacking these two. He can probably go here. Then I have to go here. Attacks this. I have checks, but they don't do anything. I can just push this. I'm attacking this. I can just get behind the pawn and push. He attacks this, but I can push. Now I can take here. He takes with check, but that's okay. I can get behind this pawn. He can actually take that. Just not good for me. Should have gone here. He does take. I could push or... Yeah, so I think I activate my king here. Kick the knight away so I can push. If I could win this, that would be great for me, but I'd have to get here or here. Which would take 2 moves. It gives up the knight. But now I'm able to push, so he has to give up his rook, so this is a win. He gives me a check, doesn't do anything. I also win this. And my opponent resigns, so let's have a look at this. We played at an 80.9, my opponent at a 71.1. We had 1 miss and 2 mistakes. Against e4 we played the Caro-Kann. We should have taken here. Developing the bishop isn't that good, but this trade helps me. Taking with the knight is a mistake. Oh, it hangs this pawn. Wow. With tempo on the queen. That's a terrible move. And then I'm able to go here with my knight. Terrible move, I could just take the pawn. Just taking is really good. Puts me in a much better position. This move doesn't work. I can just block with the knight, probably. Queen trade relieves pressure from my position. We take the free pawn. We have a fork. It's actually better to go back though. That's a mistake. This move is good. It lets me castle. And doesn't give my opponent a fork. I didn't see which forks he'd have, but castling is good. This is a good move. I should have just jumped my knight in, like I said. Which it actually attacks this pawn, so that was probably the best move. It's just a trade of pawns. Instead I went to attack this. And that's not accurate for my opponent because I take the pawn with tempo. He should have defended. This knight move is very good because I'm putting pressure on a lot of things and defending. A rook trade helps me in this winning position. I should have taken the pawn right there. I should have jumped back with the knight. Instead I push, which isn't best. I get to kick the knight. So taking that isn't the best. I should have defended this first. Because it comes with check. So we lose 2 pawns there. And this position is actually a draw. We blundered a draw there by not defending this f pawn. We trade pieces. We're in the rook endgame. We push, and my opponent makes a huge mistake. He should have defended the back rank straight away from promotion and then bring his king next. Instead he brings his king first, which lets my pawn get in, stopping the king from coming in. And then there's nothing my opponent can do. So we actually had a draw, but my opponent blundered the game away with his king move. He should have defended first against promotion. Let's see what would have happened if he defended. So we'd push. No, bringing the king is wrong. He could get behind the pawn. And then we can never step away from the pawn. If we ever do, it's still a draw. Let's find the second game. We're playing as black again. We play the Caro-Kann again. We could take that, but I don't really like that. I can defend with this knight move. I can take that. It actually lines up this attack. Do I have to play this move? I think I do. So my opponent lines up a dangerous attack there. So on my king, goes for check. I can block with the knight. There are no pawns that can attack my knight, luckily, so I think now I have to move my bishop to a more active square and then free up this bishop. Maybe I can put my bishops on these diagonals. I have 2 strong bishops here. I want to free up my e pawn. I'm not sure if I should play e6 or e5. I think e5 is better, gives me more space. My d5 knight is quite strong. I could activate my rook. My opponent wants to trade my bishop off, which is okay. I don't have any ways of attacking the queen. I don't really like my opponent's queen being so strong. I don't see any tactics here. I could trade off my opponent's knight, which probably isn't a good move. I'm not sure. If I just take the trade so the knight isn't able to develop, that would be okay. And take more space here. If he ever pushes, let's see why I can play that. I should probably just improve my rook. Knight comes in and threatens knight to g5. But then I could defend. Knight g5. Actually, no. Knight g5 pressures this. I can defend it with this bishop move probably. I can play h6 now. Stops the knight from coming in. But then my opponent may be able to take with the bishop, sacrifice it, but I don't think so right now. Need to improve my rook and pressure my opponent here. The position looks okay. I don't see any knight jumps that could be dangerous for me. I'm stopping his bishop from developing. He develops his rook. I can bring my rook. If I put my rook on the light square, bishop can't attack it. I could play f5, but f5 is a move that really weakens my king. f5, the knight has to move. The knight goes back anyway now. Defends against this move. If I go for queen trade, that's good for me. I think if I go for queen trade, I'd be able to. I mean, now my opponent has this move, but then I'd just push her probably. Or my opponent jumps in actually. No, we just queen trade anyway. Queen trade's good for my position, because it takes pressure off my knight and off my king. Could bring my rooks to the center. King steps away. I really want to queen trade. My opponent takes, I can go here maybe to attack this. If he pushes, we take, but then he takes. But then I'd have this, so I'll push her. He takes. I played the wrong move order. I was meant to jump my knight in first, attacking this. But instead I pushed, which is bad. Not good for my position. This knight jump doesn't do anything. He loses the knight. Accidentally pushed my pawn. Not a good move. Now I have to move my knight. And I don't see a good square for it. I think I have to bring it back to this. b6 square. Developing the bishop lets me come in here. Then bishop has to go back. But if the bishop goes back, we don't have any squares, so... I'll take the d-file. I don't think a trade is that bad for me. Playing the wrong move order was very bad here. I was thinking of knight to f4. He just pushes. I have this move attacking this, but then the knight would take, so not really. Now I could push these pawns forward, but threatening to take here now with my bishop. He attacks this. I think I can just push. I'm still threatening to take. Pushing doesn't really work. Just take him. If I take here, I have two defenders on this. We go for this trade. He gets behind the pawn, but I'm closer to promotion. I can bring my king. If he pushes, we go here. If he promotes, he loses the pawn. If he takes, we take. This is a drawn endgame. Check doesn't do anything. My king is slightly more active. There's no way I can trap the rook. If he checks me, I go here. He gives a check. I can go here. So check if the king comes in. Let's see. Check. What about check now? King takes. Check. It's almost made. Check now. King takes. Check. It's almost checkmate. Check now. King comes in, so I don't like that. But check now if the king comes in. So do I. With my rook. He attacks this. I can defend it, but then the king comes in here. If he takes, I move my king. And this falls. I think this idea is better. If he takes, I push. Defends that way. Now he's able to take. He can't really push. I think we've played very badly in this endgame. I can go this way. Can force a trade and then come in. But I think this... Let's see. If I go here and he takes and we take. Yeah, I think no, but then you still have one pawn. I go here, he takes, we take with check. King has to move here or here. If he goes here, we will take the rook. He's just behind. That opens up a check on my king as well. Yeah, we blundered him. Not good. Probably just goes here. He can even push now. No, he can't. He defends this way. Yeah, and we've lost this game. It's just poor from us. Now he's going to promote this pawn. And it's checkmate for my opponent. Let's look at this game. He played at an 80.6 and my opponent with an 84.7. We had no blunders, but we had two mistakes, and I think one of them came at the end. We played the end game very poorly. We played the Caro-Kann again. Yeah, this taking that knight was not good. Instead, I should have... I was thinking about this move. Bishop c2, because he can never take the bishop unless he comes in to attack it. But he can't attack it because my knight is here. So I was thinking about this move. It's interesting. And we win a pawn apparently. White has to give up a pawn. Queen trade's better for me. I should have given up the knight. What? Why? Oh, he can't. Oh, if I came in here, he couldn't take the knight because I take the rook. And the rook has to move away. So let's see. If I jump in, the rook has to move away. And then we're able to win a pawn. This rook move is bad. Should have taken this. These were all the best moves. This endgame was drawn. It's just a drawn endgame. I completely missed rook b5. Because rook b5, let's say I play rook b5 and he pushes. I am the first to promote. And I also stopped the promotion here. Wow. Rook b5. I played rook c5 trying to defend this. Pushing here is a terrible move. He had to get in front of my pawn. And now the game's drawn. These were all the best moves. This h4 move was the best move in this position. But I missed taking. The mistake we made was not taking this. Taking this gives us a draw. My opponent's king is just frozen. What's the next best move? g3 check. King to f3. It's still a draw. What if the rook takes here? h7 check. King to g5. And then I take. It's just a draw. It's a complete draw. I should have taken on the f4 pawn here. It would just lead to a draw. Instead, my opponent is completely winning in this endgame. So the best move here was for me to take the pawn. Well, actually, was to step out of the way of check. I forgot that the rook has a discovered check on my king, which loses us the endgame. There's nothing we can do here, and a few moves later we lose to checkmate. So 2 games today, 1 win and 1 loss. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.